Welcome back, Knowledge Seekers. So this is my third time shooting this video. I reshot it because I forgot some important information. And for whatever reason, I don't know what setting got changed on my computer. It was exceptionally soft. And I went to go edit the video and just could not release it. And things kind of got away from me this week. So I wasn't able to put this out sooner. However, you will get this book review, a mini book review that on a book that I hadn't originally intended to do, but I think I am going to do it, and then another book review, which is kind of completely off topic of the other three. So we are doing another book that, in line with the emotion code, is How to Heal Yourself. And it is an older book. It says that it was originally published in 1984. My copy says that the copyright date is from 1982. So I'm not sure which is the actual date. This also came from Hay House, UK. But it is Louise Hay, her book, Heal Your Body, The Mental Causes for Physical Illness and the Metaphysical Way to Overcome Them. This is obviously an older book. It's a very short book, and I'm going to show you the pages in a little bit. But I want to tell you a little bit about Louise Hay if you are not familiar with her. If you have ever heard of Hay House Publishing Company, she is the founder of Hay House. She is also the pioneer behind the self-help movement. If you enjoy self-help books, you have Louise Hay to thank for that. She is the one that pioneered that whole genre of books. At least that is my understanding. And she was born Helen Vera Looney on October 8th, 1926 in Los Angeles, California, to Veronica Chawala and Henry John Looney. She was born to a poor mother, and after her parents divorced, her mother would remarry an abusive man by the name of Ernest Carl Wanzenried, who would physically abuse both Louise and her mother. At the age of 5, she would be raped by a neighbor, and this is something that would stay with her for the rest of her life. By the age of 15, 16, she would drop out of high school to have her only child, a daughter that she would then give up for adoption. So, let me go back. She would move to Chicago, and she would work really low-paying jobs. In 1950, she would change her name, and she would move to New York. And there she would take on a career as a fashion model. Sometime in that move, she changed her name from Helen to Louise. She would have a phenomenal career as a fashion model. She would work for such brands as Oleg, Cassini, Pauline Tregear, and Bill Blass. I might be mispronouncing those, but I will put them here for you. And then in 1954, she would meet a British businessman by the name of Andrew Hay, and they would get married. And they would be married for 14 years until he would leave her for another woman. And that would kind of send her on this path of healing and discovery, because around that time, she would join and find the first church of religious science on 48th Street, which teaches how the transformative power of thought. And there would be two specific mentors, I think, that she would work with, or that are specifically mentioned. One was Helen Scoville Shin, who believed that positive thought could change people's material circumstances, and the other religious science founder, Ernest Holmes, taught that positive thinking could heal the body. And these would be two foundations that she would hold on to tightly, and she would actually become a practitioner. I want to say like a minister of sorts, but she would be in the 1970s. She would become a religious science practitioner. She would lead people in spoken affirmations that she believed would cure their illness, and she became a popular workshop leader. She would also study transcendental meditation with, I hope I get this at least marginally correct, Mahesh maybe, yogi at the Maharishi International University in Fairfield, Iowa. Now, around that time, sometime in the 1977-1978, she would be diagnosed with incurable cervical cancer. And through this process that she had been training in, through the affirmations and these new beliefs, she felt that the experience she went through at the age of 5, that assault, had settled in the body. So that's going to take us to this, which is originally going to be written as a pamphlet around 1978 and will be released by Hay House, which would not be formally founded until 1984. but she goes through, she does actually mention this. So let me take a moment to show you. This is all of the actual text that's like written, the written part. That's it. The rest of it is all a giant list of healing things. So the way we talked about in the emotion code, where unhealed emotions or unprocessed emotions land in the body and cause physical and mental illness, this follows a similar thing, only she kind of works backwards. She looks at the physical ache or pain or the problem, identifies the thought pattern that is incorrect or that is causing the problem, and then offers you an affirmation or a better thought pattern to replace it with to help you release this pain. And this is something that would get her kind of, she would appear on Oprah. I think she would appear on, who else? Phil Donahue in 1988. So this is a thought, this process would bring her a lot of fame and fortune. There are all kinds of interviews from different shows. You can find workshops that were filmed. In 1988, Reed Tracy joined as an accountant, and they would eventually become CEO of Hay House. In 1985, Louise would found the Hay Foundation. And it would be the establishment of the Hay Foundation. And its mission is to build futures and support organizations that enhance the quality of life for people, animals, and the environment. In 2008, she would be awarded the Minerva Award at the Women's Conference. And this award was created in 2004 by Maria Shriver to recognize remarkable women who serve on the front lines of humanity, celebrating their unique contributions, I couldn't read my own handwriting there, that better the lives of others in communities across the country and the world. Louise will go on to write 35 books as well as different card decks. Her most famous of which I believe is the Power of Thought cards, which I occasionally post for you. There are self-esteem decks. She's got all kinds of books and notebooks and card decks to help you work through stuff. Maybe I'll eventually go over some of those like I wanted to. But let me get you now to this, because this is why I brought you here. So, as I mentioned before, it's a very short book. So here's kind of what it looks like. Hopefully the camera can pick up on that. So you've got your problem cause, new thought pattern. I always want to refer to them as affirmations. And it's an A to Z thing. Some of the wording might be a little old here, or might be a little, it's very medical, I'll say that. So, and I think it goes from acne to yeast infections. And if you have spinal problems, if you have back problems, she also does a whole map of the spine. And it's the same thing. So here you have the vertebrae, like she'll tell you what part of the back it's in. I know you can't see that. The areas that are affected, so the vertebrae, the areas, and then the effects of what these discs do. And this comes from the Parker Chiropractic Research Foundation from 1975. And then same deal. She's got the vertebrae, the problem, and the problem cause. So yes, some of the stuff might be a little dated, but it still is viable, in my opinion. So let's see. Let's pick something here, and I'll show you. All right, so let's say you have chills. The problem cause is mental contraction, pulling away and in, desire to retreat, leave me alone. And the affirmation or the new thought pattern is, I am safe and secure at all times. Love surrounds me and protects me. All is well. Hopefully you can read that. It's a little difficult. Hi. Let's see. Let me find another one. Eye problems. So this says see sty. Not liking what you see in your own life, I now create a life I love to look at. But it also lists astigmatism, trouble, meaning the self, fear of really seeing the self. I am now willing to see my own beauty and magnificence. Cataracts, inability to see ahead with joy, dark future. Life is eternal and filled with joy. I don't know. Eye problems. Oh, eye problems in children. Not wanting to see what is going on in the family. Harmony and joy and beauty and safety now surround this child. Cross-eyed, not wanting to see what's out there. Crossed purposes. It says crossed C keratitis. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. It is safe for me to see. I am at peace. Farsighted, hyperopia, fear of the present. I am safe in the here and now. I see that clearly. So, like, that's just an example of what you'll find in this book. And it's like that for everything. For a lot of different stuff. And then for the vertebrae, so let's say people, what are the next problems? So the atlas or the axis? What is that? All right, so let's say you have a problem with your C1 spine or cervical spine. Problem cause fear, confusion, running from life, feeling not good enough, what will the neighbors say, endless inner chatter. New thought pattern, I am centered and calm and balanced. The universe approves of me. I trust of my higher self. All is well. So it's that kind of thing. Now how do you want to use this book? Well, that's really up to you. My advice is read this through entirely first. Then when you have done that, there's a few different ways you can approach this. You can just go through and address each and every ache and pain you have and just focus on one at a time and see if it clears up, see if they go away. You can cycle through maybe once a week or once a month. You go through a different set of affirmations and problems and whatnot. You could try that. Another thing that you can do, you can write down, get a journal or a notebook, write down all of the problems, all of the problem causes, all of the affirmations. From there, do a meditation asking your guides to tell you what is the best affirmation for me to address all of these problems collectively. So, because if you maybe write down 5-6 things that you want to address, they may all have different elements to them, different sayings. Another thing is, depending on where you are in your healing journey, you may notice a pattern. And one of two things will happen. If it's a pattern you need to address, you will notice this pattern and it will stay with you, and you will be guided to or find the people or the means to help you release this thought pattern. Sometimes we see patterns and they go, oh, there's this pattern that I'm kind of noticing, and it just goes away and you never think of it again. And you might keep revisiting like, oh yeah, there's a pattern of financial problems, of safety, lack of love, self-esteem issues, whatever it could be, you'll notice it. And then it just kind of goes out of your head. It's probably because you are not in a place in your healing journey where you are meant to address this pattern. As frustrating as that sounds, accept the fact that you have other work to do. You have other things to focus upon before you are ready to really dig in and do that deep work. It may be that there are surface level things that need to start clearing out in order for you to address that. Or there might be a different healing method, there's other things there that have to be cleared before you can do that really deep work. Maybe it's just surface level stuff. Maybe it's something that's a little bit more pressing, depending on where you are in your life, what's going on. It might be that now is not the right time to address this. We are going to get to it. We're going, your higher self, your guides, your angels, whoever you work with, will make sure you get there, but maybe now is not that time. And we're going to get you through everything else, going to help you heal, going to help you start releasing, because you've acknowledged that I don't want to hold on to this anymore. And then we're going to be there. Here's the other thing though. Affirmations, people have brought this up, that affirmations don't work unless you believe them. And that's very true. An affirmation, you can try to lie to yourself all you want. How do you know if you're lying? So I'm going to pull off of Abraham Hicks's teachings here in order to do that. If you have an emotional response to an affirmation, like you want to cry, you get angry, it means that you and your higher self are not in agreement. Because your higher self believes the very best of you. So if you are saying that I have problems seeing myself and you completely believe that, then the other part of it is I am worthy of whatever I see myself for, magnificent person that I am or whatnot. Those words are going to get stuck in your throat. And it's going to be a little bit painful. And that's going to let you know that you have to make that connection. You have to actually figure out a way for you to believe that you are worthy, that you are accepting, that you deserve to be healthy. And that's where some of this is going to stick or not stick, or different work needs to be done. Different healings need to be approached. Maybe you need to modify the affirmation to something that you can say. So just be aware that you cannot lie to yourself. So if you don't believe the affirmations that are being given to you, they're not going to work. And you're right. They aren't. But how do you start believing them? What do you have to do? I can't answer that for you. That's your healing journey, and that's something you have to do. But maybe it's one of the, it's not something you can necessarily fake it till you make it kind of deal. But if it starts making you think and it starts making you do deeper work, well, why don't I feel worthy? What has happened in my life? Why do I feel that way? And now all of a sudden you're starting to dig in a little bit. That's good. That's what we want. We want you to start releasing. We want you to start healing. We want you to start doing these things that make it so that you acknowledge the fact that, yes, I do deserve to be healthy. I do deserve to live my best life. I do deserve to be happy. And it's never a one and done, ladies and gentlemen. There's always going to be something you got to work on. Trust me, I know there's always something. So, but I do hope that this book sincerely helps you and maybe helps you to think, start working on your journey, get you to a point where you can start to heal and feel better. And I sincerely hope it works for you, because this is another way that you can help yourself to heal yourself. And that's what I want for you. You deserve it. All right, my friends. Until we meet again, take care, and I'll see you again soon.